a mix and a balance of kind of younger guys, veteran guys, new school mindset, maybe some more traditional old school. I think it's a great balance. We took our time. We wanted to get it right. And at the end, I think we came up with some really good names and really good fits for the staff. So I'm really excited and probably put more work into the staff, for a month period than maybe in the past. So there are guys, some holdovers that have the continuity and the resources of knowing our guys. We have some new guys. I just feel like it's a really good staff, and I think we took a lot of time to put it together.
We're excited about the group. I mean, I think we have, there's some, I think again, it's a blend of some experience, some younger staff members that are anxious to get to the big league level for the first time. I think probably the biggest thing at the end of the day that we're excited about is we've just got a lot of knowledge and expertise and content. So, I think the other thing I think that in talking to Bob and really, trying to put the staff together, having some crossover in terms of, a couple different people in each area. So, whether it's in the infield, whether it's on the pitching side, whether it's on the hitting side, we have, a few different staff members that are going to be able to help out in those different spots. That was by design, something that Bob talked about a lot. So I think, having some continuity, having a lot of expertise, and then having, a couple different people in each area that can take some ownership. I think those things are all very attractive to us with the staff.
He talks a language that I don't talk, and he talks the language that younger hitters are coming up and talking now. I should say that I talk it a little bit, but not as well as he does. And I knew coming in that on the hitting end, you need to be able to reach these guys and speak their language. And I knew 20 minutes into his interview that I had a pretty good sense I was going to hire him. He blew me away. And if you'd have told me 3 or 4 years ago I'd have a 27-year-old hitting coach, I probably would have said no. But he is that good, that knowledgeable, and understands, not only the technology point and part and how to prepare, but also sounds like he's, when you talk to him, he's so well studied and well knowledgeable of what he's trying to do. When you talk to a player about him, any player in our team that he already had ideas about what he wanted to do, yet understands he has to get to know the players before he tries to push too hard. So just a really, really smart, knowledgeable kid who speaks the language of what these younger hitters do. Guys, even it starts in batting practice in the cage now with a lot of the technology that you have. Guy hits a ball and he says, I hit that one at 18 degrees at 102. I mean, you're speaking exit velocities, launch angles, and that's what these guys are well versed in. I've learned it, so to speak, but have kind of had to move back towards that, a little bit more old school in my thoughts on hitting. And I think there's a nice balance for that too, with a guy like Matt Williams. Just because we're a coach in a certain area doesn't mean that we can't help everybody out. And Matt, you look at his numbers, brings a little credibility on the offensive side too. So we feel like we're really well balanced there. And and nowadays when you talk to a hitting coach about break this guy down for me. Okay, well, hits too many balls on the ground, doesn't hit spin very well, and then has answers to how we can improve upon that. I mean, you didn't hear as much of that, maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago as you're hearing now, and a lot of teams are having success with it.
With Michael, again, I think Michael, Flash, Nathan Landau, we have a group of guys that, Matt Williams, we have a group of guys that, feel good that they've got a lot of bases covered from a hitting standpoint. Michael, again, I think, the last couple of years in San Francisco, overseeing their minor league program and being the coordinator there, he's got, I think he's got some, from a drill standpoint, how you go out and improve performance, working in a cage with hitters, working on the field with guys, teaming up with Flash from an approach standpoint. I think we've got a lot of the bases checked. And again, we've swung the bat well here over the last couple of years. So it's, I think ultimately from our offense standpoint, we feel like we have some talented hitters, and ultimately we feel like we've got with Michael and Ryan and others, we feel like we've got a group of coaches that should be able to connect with these guys and get them to go out and perform.
They had success, and I think a lot of teams look to, if teams do things a little bit differently and they have success, then you have to kind of look into that. And this is one of the reasons that we interviewed him, was to try to, see what was going on over there, and, how they match up, how they're prepared for pitchers, how they're prepared for a starter, how the guys coming off the bench are prepared for a reliever. And he had all the answers for that. So you can understand, you look at the numbers the Giants put up, especially coming off the bench, different lineups on different days for certain pitchers. He was well-versed in that. And like I said, I knew pretty early on in the interview that I wanted to hire him. And a lot of it had to do with what was going on over there. And you're always looking to take a little something from teams that had success. Yeah, he brings a lot of baseball knowledge, a lot of years. He's been a manager, he's been a pitching coach. He's been a special assistant. He's done it all. He's been on my staffs before. And what I think, his role will be an advisor. He'll be there for the better part of all of spring training. And then during parts of the season, he'll kind of come and go, I think, which works really well, which gives a little perspective, for the staff, for a guy that's not there each and every day, and kind of sees what has transpired, in the time that he hasn't been with the team. When he was rumored to be potentially coming onto our staff, I got calls from all over the game about, how energetic he is, about how knowledgeable he is, about how all in he is on every team that he's been with, and a clubhouse leader, and so forth and so on. So to have that, just coming off the field, the guys have played against this guy before, just a lot of knowledge and experience for a guy that might not be experienced coaching, but it's experienced in the game of baseball. And it came from all over. So we're really excited about him having. I just love listening to him talk. He's so passionate about what he's talking about. Obviously understands the catching dynamic. We'll have some real competition for that spot, and he's got some knowledge of these guys as well. So just brings a ton to this staff, and in an area that we feel like we need, a guy that understands the position, has just come off the field, knows how to deal with players. It's really like having a pitching manager. He understands how to get these guys ready. He comes from an organization that's always been pitching rich and pitching savvy. I know Terry Francona really well, and he speaks very highly of him. Again, during the interview process, Ruben was there. I got to speak to him. This was an easy one. His reputation also, came before, and I knew about him, and talking to him, I knew this was the right man for the job. And speaking to, the front office and the guys that had already spoken to him, this was an easy hire. So very well thought of around the game. And like I said, I have a close relationship with Tito, and it was good enough for me. When AJ talked about, we feel like we're doubling up in every area. Not only we help out on the hitting end, you'll help out on the infield end with Matt Williams. So we feel like we have two guys for every spot. It's great to be able to bring guys back too that have some continuity and knowledge of the players. Ryan has that, and is well versed in hitting and the infield portion of it. So he'll kind of split up his duties, but that was an easy call early on, when I actually met him when I was interviewing for the position. And you can see why he's so well liked, not only amongst the players, but also by the front office. It just depends on where you can. I came from Oakland, where we did everything pretty much in-house. We felt like if there was somebody left, we would look in-house to begin with. And that was just kind of how the organization flowed. So this was a little bit of a different process, knowing we're probably going to bring some guys in from the outside, and we wanted it to be diverse in age. We wanted to be diverse in thinking. We wanted it to be, guys that the other dynamic here is that everybody on the staff, even though some of the guys are new, they have somebody that they know and feel comfortable around. I think that brings out the best in you. When you have someone there, you don't feel like you're the Lone Ranger and you have to kind of morph in or kind of tiptoe into a process. But, the hitting end and the pitching end are probably way more technical than when I first, got into this. It was, now you want to hear about these guys and how they can improve and how they're going to use all the tools and technology that are available now. And both Ruben and Michael are guys that are really well versed in that. So little different than before in that, you're talking about different areas and, maybe a little bit more math involved now too with guys and coaches. So it's a lot different than when I first started.